So, after my popularity of the Sega Dreamcast HD texture packs installation in test the other day, I thought let's go a little bit further with this and let's show you what PlayStation 2 has to offer. And surprisingly, we got several different HD custom texture packs too. So, in this video, I'm going to do a comparison between default settings of free PlayStation 2 games and also showing you how they look with these adjustments, which is HD custom texture packs and some fine adjustments to video settings, and some of these look fantastic. So check this video out. Okay, so before I go any further with this video, if you like what you see today, just hit notifications and also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss upcoming content on RetroBat and several other front-end system tutorials that I cover. So let's get on with this one. Link is in my description for this one, as always, and what we're doing is going to download some texture packs. So as we can see from this website, we got completed HD texture projects, and these are 100% complete, and there are some really good games here. We got Call of Duty 3, for starters. I'm personally using a Burnout game, Bloody Roar, and I'm also using Castlevania. Now, if you just scroll down on this website I've come across, we've also got many other texture packs, but these are incomplete. So, like I say, links in my description for these, and you're going to be really amazed with these texture packs. They're really good. So let's get into this. You're going to download these packs, and they're going to download in zip files. So just unextract them, and you're going to be left with one of these folders just here. And inside, you've got another folder called Replacements, which has got all the textures for your game. So once you've got this, what we're going to do next is just head into RetroBat, or rather go on the shortcut and right click on it. And the first thing you're going to need to do once you're inside the RetroBat directory is just go to BIOS. And then from BIOS, if you scroll down slightly, you're going to find PCSX2. And in PCSX2, we've got two folders here. We've got BIOS and we got textures. Now, if you don't have a textures folder in here, just create the folder and rename it textures. So just like this, right click, new folder, and I'm going to type textures. And it's that simple. And next thing we're going to do is these folders of your HD custom texture packs. We're going to just drag these inside of that textures folder. Okay, next thing you need to do is back out of here, and if we go into the emulators folder inside of the RetroBat directory, just double left click on that one, and we're going to scroll down until we come across PCSX2. And inside of PCSX2, just open up the emulator itself, and remember you're going to need to install this, and if you should get an update, just download and install. Okay, so here's my free games that I'm going to do in today's video. So what I'm going to make you aware of too is that if you look under codes just here, which is besides the name of the games, you need to compare the code with the folder names. So if we just come back out of here, and again, we're going to go back into that BIOS folder, and again, we're going to look for the PCSX2 folder, and textures, where I've just dragged my texture packs. If you look, my codes correspond with the names of these folders. So you're going to need to download texture packs which corresponds to your game's region, and that's what this is. So that being done, what we're going to do next to fully set this up is go into settings, and from settings we're going to just go down to graphics. And once graphics tab is open, we're going to go to texture replacement just here. And you need to link up this directory with where we've just dragged and dropped those texture packs. So very simple. Mine's already set up, as you can see, but it's just a case of just clicking on browse and then just finding where RetroBat is. So I'm going to do this for you, RetroBat, and they're obviously in the BIOS folder, and they're in the PCSX2 folder. And here they are. So just highlight the textures folder just here and just simply press on select folder. And you can close this down now. And if you've not yet followed my setup guide for PlayStation 2, be sure to check that one out. I've got a full PlayStation 2 and RetroBat setup guide. So we're done with the texture packs and everything is set up. So let's just enter RetroBat now. So we're back into RetroBat. We got PlayStation 2, and here's my free games. So what we're going to do first is just like the other days, Sega Dreamcast, I'm going to show you some gameplay of default settings. So first of all, I'm going to just make sure the video settings and everything else is to auto or default settings. And I'm going to just open up Bloody Roar 4. We're going to start off with this one.
Get ready,
So as we can see by the default settings there's lots of jagged edges and the textures look very blurred. But I'm going to show you now how we're going to enable this to make this look so much better. And of course, using those custom texture packs that we just installed. So what I'm going to do is just go to View Options again, Advanced System Options. And from here, I'm going to just go and enable those texture packs. So that's under Visual Rendering. And if we just scroll down and first enable those texture packs, which is right at the bottom, Custom Textures, and I'm going to put on Yes Pre-Cache. And we're going to also apply some settings to really bring this to life. So if we just go up just a touch, we're going to come across trilinear filtering. And just let me make you aware that if you want to advance these games to look, if you want to really make them look amazing, just make sure that you've got modest hardware in your computer setup. Otherwise, things are going to lag. So for that reason, check out the PCSX2 website and just be sure your hardware is fit for purpose for doing this type of thing. So anyways, under trilinear filtering, I'm going to just go to trilinear PS2. And under texture filtering, I'm going to go to nearest. Bilinear filtering, I'm going to go to yes sharp. Anti-aliasing, I'm going to go to yes. And let's back out of here. And if we just scroll up, now internal resolution, this is really going to make a strain on your hardware. So like I was just saying, before messing around with internal resolution, just be sure your computer can handle it. Otherwise, you're going to get very choppy gameplay. So from here, I'm going to just put this onto ×4. I'm also going to go up to game aspect ratio, and I'm going to go to 16:9. Vertical sync, we seen some screen tear a minute ago, so I'm going to go to yes for this one. And if we go up to decorations, I'm going to just make sure this one's on none. So let's open up Bloody Roar 4 again with that texture pack in video settings now applied.
the cat. Round 1. Get ready, fight!
So as we can see, Bloody Roar 4 looks fantastic. Something, to me, oddly enough, it really strikes out in that game is the background. If we looked at the cylinders in the background, the scenery, even the cylinders are really defined. So this texture pack works just flawlessly. So let's move on to our next game here. So what I'm going to do is just put all my settings back to default. So let's try out Burnout Revenge. So as we can see again, very blurry and a lot of jagged edges. Let's check this one out with the custom texture pack. So let's just configure the video settings once again. And of course, to apply the texture pack, we're going to go to visual rendering, custom textures. So yes, pre-cache. And I don't think there's any deny whatsoever in Burnout Revenge. That looks absolutely fantastic. So let's try out the best game of the bunch, and this is going down to Castlevania. So again, let's just take away those settings. Okay, as you can see, just like the other games, very blurry, no real definition in textures. So let's check this one out. there we go. As we can see, Castlevania, the textures from the carpet on the floor to the walls and pictures just looks absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so I've got a different setup guide for you today. I've covered Sega Dreamcast for the RetroBat front-end system a little while back, but I'm digging in a bit deeper with this, and I'm talking about HD texture packs. And you can really make your old Dreamcast games look amazing, and I mean genuinely amazing. So I'm going to show you how to do this in this guide, and it really is very simple. I'm also going to be showing you some comparisons between normal gameplay as well as HD textures enabled gameplay, and you are going to be amazed just like I was. So check this one out. Okay, so let's get on with this setup guide, but before I start, can I just ask that you hit notifications if you like today's video, and hit subscribe for me. It really helps my channel out, and it also gets you content when I upload it. So let's get into this. First thing I'm going to do is download the HD texture packs, and I'm going to leave the link in my description for this. So I've got a couple of Sega Dreamcast games, and what I'm going to do is download these HD texture packs. So it's essentially high definition. So as we can see just here in the pictures, you've got your normal gameplay footage image just here. And if we look just below it, you can see on the map, for example, where these fighters are, much more definition. So it's really bringing out that detail and that texture. And I've tested this out and the results truly are amazing. So I've got this game itself, I've got Soul Calibur, and I've also got Crazy Taxi. I think those two games are very common. So what I'm going to do is just download both texture packs, and like I said, I'm going to leave the links in my description for this website so you can try this one out for yourself, and yeah, you're going to be really amazed. So let's go to the download link, and I'm going to download the texture pack for Soul Calibur. And it's going to download in a WinRAR file, which is cool because I use WinRAR. So Soul Calibur is just over a gig. But once you start playing this one, you'll realise why it's a gig in size. You know, there's a lot of content in there, a lot of textures. So let's just back out of here, and I'm going to go and download the Crazy Taxi HD texture pack. So the Crazy Taxi HD texture pack is only 170 megabyte. But like I say, I've tested these out before recording this video, and we can just see the textures in this image here, for example. I mean, how cool does that floor look? Those stones look so defined. So if you get geeky thrills like myself out of these little discoveries, you're going to like this one. So I'm going to download this one again. This is another Google Drive link, and just download that. So like I say, the link is going to be in my description so you can download and try these out for yourselves. And yeah, very cool stuff. Okay, so once you've downloaded your files, what we're going to need to do is extract these. This is in WinRAR format. So I'm obviously using WinRAR for this. So I'm going to extract these. Now, if you're using 7-zip or WinZip or any other extraction tool, they will pretty much work the same, but you essentially need to just extract them and get the folders out, which, as you can see, is extracting into its own folder. So just extract these, and just bear in mind, some of these texture packs are going to be larger than others, so they can take up to a couple of minutes to extract. So once you finish extracting these files, we can obviously then just delete them, remove them to the recycle bin. And I'm also going to extract the other one as well. So WinRAR extract here. And that's it. And we can also get rid of that one as well now. Okay, next up, once your files are extracted, we're going to go to the RetroBat shortcut, right-click on it, open file location, and from here, the folder you need to look for is BIOS. And in BIOS, you should find a folder titled DC, and in DC, we have textures. And this is where these need to go into. So just highlight them and drag them inside of the textures folder, and that should take a few seconds. So once you've copied your texture packs inside of this folder, we're going to go back out, and I'm obviously going to need to put my games inside of RetroBat, which is in the ROMs folder just here. So I'm going to find Dreamcast, which is here. Now, you might notice that I've got a couple of Dreamcast games here, and they're in .chd extension. Let me tell you what .chd is. It pretty much reduces the size of, say, a .bin.q or .iso image. They work essentially the same, they're just as good, only it just reduces the size. You can get converters for this too, and this is what I did with these. So anyway, let's just drag my games inside of the ROM's Dreamcast folder, and we can close all down now, and let's open up RetroBat. So, like I say, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you these two games individually running without texture packs enabled, and then a comparison on each one with the texture packs enabled. And like I've been saying, trust me, this is awesome stuff. So we're going to find Dreamcast now, and I'm going to just make sure these are at default settings. So view options, advanced system options, and just let me tell you that to enable these texture packs, the emulator must be set to Libretto Flycast. You won't be able to do this through Redream, and you won't be able to do it through Demule. It needs to be Flycast. So just a quick check for all the settings. Everything's set to auto. Visual rendering, everything is auto. So, like I say, it's all default, and this is what you're normally going to see when you open up a Dreamcast game without the HD texture pack enabled.
All right. Yo, come over here.
Hey, can't you stop closer? Just go!
Okay, hang on.
Oh, yeah! Aha! Yeah! Oh, yeah!
So I'm going to leave it there, but like I was saying, a lot of definition there can definitely be enhanced with the texture packs that we're doing today. So I'm going to enable this now and play this again. So what I'm going to do is go to View Options, Advanced System Options, and first of all, I recommend turning the shader to off for this one. Decorations I'm also going to turn to none, so we don't have those on the side of the screen, which is going to interfere with what I'm going to do with aspect ratio, which is turn this to 16:9. Now, what we need to do next is definitely, without a doubt, turn up the internal resolution. The definition of the textures are really going to shine if you push this right up. In my case, I'm going to go right to the top with this. Now, to enable the texture packs themselves, we're going to need to go under Advanced Settings and Visual Rendering. And at the bottom here, you can find Custom Textures. Just put this to Yes and back out. And I'm also going to scroll up whilst I'm in Visual Rendering. And what I'm going to do is go to Anastrophic Filtering, which enhances the quality of textures in the game. So if you can do this, if you've got the hardware, then by all means, go up to 16 times, and this is going to look awesome. So with everything now set in place, let's look what Crazy Taxi now looks like. And again, I'm going to disable the music just per YouTube policies.
It's party time. Let's have some fun. Easy money, are you ready? Here we go.
Taxi?
I'll do it for you.
Hey, come here.
Good job! Take me to the cable car. up
Okay,
on the
hang
hill.
on.
Oh, that hurt! Pay more attention!
Hop in again.
Bonus.
Thanks!
I've done better.
Taxi? Yo, taxi! Yo, wait up, don't refuse me.
Taxi? Hey! Taxi?
You better pick someone up or you're gonna run out of time. Pick someone up. Hey, here we go.
Yeah! Yeah! Let's move.
Yeah, I
Keep
got
your
it.
eye on the road. Go that way.
Just shut up and let's roll.
So as we can see there in Crazy Taxi, absolutely amazing performance with texture packs enabled. And I'm going to do this again, like I said at the start of the video. So this time, I'm going to disable them and go back to default settings for everything. So I'm going to go to Advanced System Options. And just remember, to make this happen, Libretto Flycast needs to be selected. So let's try Soul Calibur, and like I say, just like Crazy Taxi, I'm going to play this one right now without any settings applied. This is default settings.
Welcome back to the stage of history. Battle 1, fight! This victory, you win! Battle 2, fight!
Okay, so let's back out of there and apply those settings again. So view options, advanced system options, flycast is enabled obviously. Shader set, I'm going to put to none. You might want to experiment with some shaders, but personally I find no shaders for this HD texture pack is better. But that's entirely up to you. Decorations, none. Game aspect ratio, 16:9. And again, internal resolution, if your computer can handle it, go up to the max. Visual rendering, this is where we're going to enable the custom texture, so yes on this one. And just up, we're going to go to anisotropic filtering and select 16 times. So let's check out Soul Calibur with HD definition enabled.
Welcome back to the stage of history. Kick versus Maxi. Battle 1, fight! Out of the ring! Kick, you Battle 2, fight! You win! Final battle, fight!
So as you can see, that game is looking flawless as well. And as I was researching for this video on extra texture packs we can get for Dreamcast, I actually came along this. And this is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, and it's actually got its own dedicated website. So what I'm going to do is just show you another gameplay example of how this originally looked, and just look at this amazing HD remaster texture pack. So again, this is going to take you to a Google Drive link. You just download it, and this one's almost 2 gig. And like I say, with the first game that I did, there's a reason these are so big, because they've got a hell lot of contents inside. So just be aware of that. So once that's downloaded, just another case of extracting the contents, and I'm extracting these onto my desktop for now. And again, just be aware that this is a 2 gigabyte file, so it can take you a little while to extract this if you've got an older computer. And if you're going to be using this one, once we've downloaded this, you're going to find a few different things inside of this folder. So the one we're going to need is actually in data and in textures. Here is the pack that we need. So just drag this one out onto your desktop too. And you can pretty much just delete this one now. But yeah, this is the one we need just here. So we're going to go to RetroBat again, open file location, and we need to go to the BIOS folder again for this. DC folder, textures, and just drag this one inside. So once that's done, you're pretty much good to go. So let's open up RetroBat again.
I know you, Razier. You are worthy.
What madness is this? What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Razier.
I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice is not yours.
I am destroyed.
You are reborn. The birth of one of Cain's abominations again. Use your hatred to These gates twist space, laying a path across great... You must visit other gates.
So as we can see, it's a typical looking Dreamcast game, but the reason I've selected this one last is to just show you how effective these HD texture packs can be, and by far this is the best I've seen. So we're just going to alter some settings again to advanced system settings, libretto flycast, shader set to none, decorations to none, aspect ratio to 16:9, internal resolution, bump it right up. Visual rendering, just remember to enable the custom textures and push yes on that. And just go to anisotropic filtering and 16 times. Now let's open up this game again, and I'm purposely showing you the video footage and not so much gameplay because I think it's the video footage in this, the cutscenes, which are very good.
I know you, Razier. You are worthy.
What madness is this? What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Razier. I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice is not yours.
I am destroyed.
You are reborn. The birth of one of Cain's abominations traps the essence of life. It is this soul that animates the corpse you lived, my angel of death. These gates twist space, laying a path across great spans. You are weak. You must feed.
The old hunger has left me. I have no desire for...
So as you can see, that looks absolutely phenomenal, and I'll stop in certain places there just so you can pick out the textures on the walls themselves, and that architecture looks very H.R. Geiger to some extent. So we got a brand new setup guide for you today to get you up and running with GameCube HD texture packs using RetroBat. So it's quite a simple process of doing this. So what I'm going to do in this video is do what I normally done with my Sega Dreamcast setup guide and yesterday's PlayStation 2 HD texture packs setup guide. So what I'm going to do is go through the normal process of showing you 3 games with default settings, then adding their texture packs by enabling it. So check this video out. Okay, as usual, what I've done, I've scoured the internet for different GameCube and Dolphin HD texture packs, and surprisingly, there's probably more texture packs on GameCube than there probably is on Sega Dreamcast and also on the PlayStation 2. And as we can see here with the pictures, the resolutions and the HD texture packs combined really gives an amazing look for these old games of the early 2000s. So here we go, we got Luigi's Mansion here, and I'm going to leave the links in my description so you can check these out for yourselves. I highly recommend all 3 of these so you can experience these yourselves. It's just a simple case of just going to the download links and downloading the texture packs which are downloaded into zip files. So we are also looking at Resident Evil 2. So this is a seamless HD project, and it's an amazing texture pack. Now, let me give you a hint with the Resident Evil 2 texture pack. You need to download the DDS pack just here. The Dolphin version just here is for Android only. And the good thing about this Resident Evil 2 texture pack is that we've also got an option to upscale or add HD textures to the FMV videos or full motion videos within the gameplay. So again, if you want to do that, just download on those links the DDS pack and the FMV pack and put them into the folder, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And we've also got one of the greatest games, in my opinion, on the GameCube, and that's Super Mario Sunshine. I spent countless hours on this one back in the day, and it's a game I play every now and again too. It's just a great Mario game. So that's about it. Just remember, once you've downloaded them through their links on these separate pages, just extract the zip files. So back on my desktop, I've downloaded each one of these texture packs and I've extracted them, and this is what we're left with. Now what we're going to do is right click on the shortcut of RetroBat, open file location, and to put these into place, it's a little bit different than the Sega Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2. So this time we're going to go to Saves, and in Saves we're going to locate GameCube. And here's GameCube, and then we're going to go to User, and then there's Load, and you should see a folder here called Textures. If you don't, just right click and create new folder and name it Textures. So let's go into Textures. And what you're doing here is just dragging and dropping your texture packs inside of that Load Textures folder. So it might take a little bit of time. I will say that the FMV video for Resident Evil 2 is around 3 to 4 gigabytes, and also the Resident Evil 2 Seamless is also pretty sizable. So one thing I am going to say to you is that these are mainly American games, and you need to correspond the names of these folders to the game itself. Let me show you what I mean. So if I go back into RetroBat, open file location, I'm going to go to emulators and Dolphin Emu, which is where RetroBat downloaded my Dolphin emulator to. If I just open up Dolphin from here, what I'm going to do is right click on my game title, and if I go to properties and just scroll along until I get to the info tab, we'll see just here the ID, the game ID that is, and we can now match this GLM up with GLM here, which is obviously Luigi's Mansion. And if we go to Resident Evil 2 and properties, if we just scroll along the tabs at the top and info, we've here got a GHA game ID, and obviously this is this folder just here. And lastly, we got Super Mario Sunshine. So right click on it, properties, and scroll along again, info, and game ID is GMS. And here we go, GMS. Now, from my setup guide before doing this video, it doesn't matter if you've got the numbers after the folder just here like you see on the game ID, as long as it's got the first part, which is obviously GHA or GMS or whatever, that'll be fine. So once you put these folders into that textures subfolder in Dolphin, what we need to do next is just open up RetroBat. And so we're going to see Nintendo GameCube. What we're going to do is just open here. I've already got the artwork in the preview videos for these. Let me just show you some gameplay of Luigi's Mansion without the setting enabled. So that's standard settings for Luigi's Mansion, and it just looks like another average GameCube game with default settings. So let's actually enable these texture packs. So first of all, I'm going to start with Luigi's Mansion. So I'm going to go to View Options to enable this, and Advanced System Options. Under Visual Rendering, right at the bottom, we got Custom Textures, and it's currently set to Auto. So what I'm going to do is just check this one to Yes and make sure that's selected. And as always, I'm going to clean up the gameplay itself. So I'm going to come out of here and I'm going to go to decorations and I'm going to turn off the GameCube decorations on the sides by pressing none. Game aspect ratio, I'm going to put to 16:9. Internal resolution, now just like some other systems, it will often say they can go up to 5K or even 8K in some cases. But I do find that things look a little bit weird from time to time. So, you know, even if you can put this up to around ×4, 1440p, you know, it's still a major boost. For this, I'm going to just go for 1080p, and this looks superb as 1080p. And just be aware that just like PlayStation 2 or even PS3, you will need beefy hardware to support this. So I recommend looking at the Dolphin website to look for the specs, the hardware specs that it requires. So I'm going to put this on the 1080p for now. I'm also going to go to vertical sync and push yes on this. Not sure if you've seen a second ago, but in the gameplay I could see screen tear. Now with GameCube, we've also got a feature under video, and we can put this into a widescreen mode. And let me just tell you that some games will support this, others won't. So I'm going to just attempt this on this game and press yes on widescreen. And if we go down one again to visual rendering, anastrophic filtering enhances the quality of textures. So I'm actually going to leave this one to auto for now because we've already got the textures in place and I don't want to mess them up. So we're going to go to anti-aliasing And just like internal resolution, anti-aliasing is going to be very reliant on your hardware, your processor or your graphics card. So, like I say just now with internal resolution, even if you can bump this one up to 2 times, it's still a massive improvement. So I'm going to just go for that for this tutorial. And if we go down to anti-aliasing modes, we've also got 2 options here. The one I'm going to recommend is SSAA for this one. Let's open up Luigi's Mansion now that I've applied the settings and put the HT texture packs in place. So as we can see there, I think the most prevalent difference is definitely the carpet in the key, and even the doors look really good, really defined. So it's pretty obvious the texture packs worked on Luigi's Mansion. However, that isn't the best. Personally, I think the other 2 I've got here really shine. So what I'm going to do is disable those settings and show you some Resident Evil 2 gameplay. And obviously, like I said at the start of the video, for Resident Evil 2, I've also got the full motion video or FMV pack for this one. So we can see a difference in the FMV pack with the FMV videos, which are going to be rendered at a slightly higher resolution than the standard. So let's just put these all back to auto. And let's get on with Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2.
A bizarre incident occurred in the outskirts of an American suburb called Raccoon City. It was later...
Freeze! Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire!
So just take note just there of Resident Evil 2, the text, for example, and I also left on some video on there, or known as FMV, just so you can see the difference in the texture pack that I'm about to put on. So I'm going to set this up again as the other game I just tested, so aspect ratio to 16:9. I'm going to go again for 1080p. Vertical sync, I'm going to press to yes to eliminate that screen tearing. I'm going to go to visual rendering and anti-aliasing. I'm going to put this one to 4 times for this one. And just remember to enable custom textures, which can be found under visual rendering. So just put this one to yes. And let's boot up Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2.
Freeze! Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire! I'm a human!
Sorry about that. I thought you were one of them.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on. I don't have a clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
So as you can see for Resident Evil 2, no doubt about it, the enhancements looked amazing. And of course, you can make this look even better than what you've just seen if you've got the hardware to support it. So next up, I'm going to go with my favourite GameCube game, which is Super Mario Sunshine. So again, I'm going to just go through and put everything back to auto. And obviously do the same test on this one.
Mario.
So as you can see, another game which is for up with blurs, that type of thing. So let's enable the final texture custom pack with this one. So advanced system options, decorations, none. And it's entirely up to you how you want to make these games look. You know, some of you might just prefer the old school 4:3. I just prefer some of these retro games in the 16:9 ratio. So internal resolution, again, if you have got the hardware, just check out 5K by all means. But like I said at the start of the video, things might break. Vertical sync I want on to yes rather.
Super Mario Sunshine! Mario. Mario.
So as we can see there, that's also a major improvement, but by far I think Resident Evil 2 is the one which deserves all the praise, although they're all really good. So I got another HD texture pack video for you tonight, and this is for the awesome N64. So N64, it came out in the mid-90s. It competed against the first PlayStation, as well as the Sega Saturn. And although sales for the N64 wasn't as great as what the PlayStation achieved, there's a big, strong fan base. And what I'm going to do with this video is show you how to get your N64 games looking really good with these HD texture packs. I'm also going to go through video settings with you and do as I always do on the last few HD texture pack videos I've done and show you default footage of gameplay as well as adding the HD texture packs and the video enhancements. So check this one out. Okay, so on my travels across the World Wide Web, I have found a really good website to get our N64 texture packs from, and this is Emulation King. There is a couple of other websites I've used during my research for this video, but largely this one's actually a good website, and it's got all the famous games on there which people are liking still to date, such as Mario 64. We got some Zelda games on this website, and there's a few other popular games such as Mario Kart. I am going to say though, on this website, some of these texture packs are 100% complete, whereas some aren't complete. Some goes up to around 70 to 80% of completion. But there are some really good texture packs on here. So check this website out. And like I said, this is where I've downloaded the texture packs from for this video. So let's get into this then. I've downloaded the texture packs as we can see here. I've got zip files of these. So all I'm going to do is just extract these zip files. So just right click and I use WinRAR and extract. And I'm going to do that for all of these. And we're going to end up with a folder for each one. As you can see, these are generating. And we're going to do Super Mario 64 too. So once these have extracted, we can now delete the authors file and the zipped files. Let's just get rid of those. So where do we put these texture packs then? So if we go to RetroBat, the shortcut that is, and right click on it, open file location is always, And these are going to go into your BIOS folder in RetroBat, and they need to go into Mupen64. Mupen64 is a very good N64 emulator that RetroBat uses. And inside of Mupen64 Plus, you're going to find Hire's texture. So if we drag these folders inside of here, and let's just check what's inside. So we've got Super Mario 64, and you've got a lot of subfolders in here. Each subfolder is going to contain textures from each part of the game. So that's all there is to it. So let's just open up RetroBat now, and I'm going to do what I always do in my last Dreamcast video, PlayStation 2 video, and yesterday's GameCube texture packs video. I'm going to show default footage of the games running as standard. So sometimes some people ask me, what theme is it you're using? This one's actually PlayStation X theme, and you can get this one from your theme. And you can actually get this theme from your updates and downloads in themes folder, and PlayStation X theme is in there. So let's go into N64, which has now appeared. And we got our games here. So we got Star Fox 64 tonight, Super Mario 64, and Ocarina of Time. So what I'm going to do is just make sure default settings on these are all to auto and they're turned off. So just switch everything off and put everything back to auto for this. So I'm going to start tonight with Star Fox 64, an absolute classic. I actually owned this one back in the day. I've got another copy of it now, but at the time it featured a Rumble Pack. How amazing was that?
World. I'll do my best. Andros won't have... Open the wing. Check your G-diffuser system. Falco here. I'm fine. This is Peppy. All systems go.
Flippy here. I'm okay.
Flippy, get back here! Flippy, watch out! Bogey on your tail!
Whoa! Help me! Thanks, Fox. I thought they had me.
So as we can see there, it's just a typical looking N64 game, very blurry and very typical of that console. So let's start the enhancements. So I'm going to go to View Options, Advanced System Options. And like I said just now, we need to make sure this is for Mupen 64. So under Emulator, just make sure that you're selecting Libretto Mupen 64 Plus next. And what I'm going to do next is just drop down to Shader Set, and I'm actually going to put this onto Enhance for this. Decorations I'm going to do as I always do and go to None to get rid of those sides. And Game Aspect Ratio 16:9. And Integer Scaling, I'm going to put this one to On. And Vertical Sync, I'm going to put to Yes to reduce any screen tear. And internal resolution, so I'm going to bump this one up to 1440 by 1080. And visual rendering is where we can enable those custom texture packs. So under visual rendering, we're going to go straight to the bottom, custom textures. And these are actually for rice. So when you download your texture packs, you might notice somewhere saying rice. So for this reason, select rice under custom textures. And under visual rendering, we've also got other settings to mess around with here to make our games look visually much better. So by linear, filtering modes, there's a couple of options there, but I'm going to leave this to auto. And textures enhancement, I'm going to put this to 2 times BRZ. And anti-aliasing, I'm going to just bump this one up to 4 times. And under widescreen, I'm going to put this one to yes. And again, under internal resolution for widescreen that I just selected, I'm going to go to Full HD 1920 by 1080. So let's check out Star Fox 64 again now that I've applied these settings, and this should look fantastic.
Andros won't have his way with me. Open the wing. Check your G-diffuser system. Falco here. I'm fine. This is Peppy. All systems go.
Flippy here. I'm okay.
I see. Flippy, get back here!
Hey, what's the big idea?
Flippy, watch out! Bogey on your tail!
Whoa! Help me! Thanks, Fox. I thought they had me.
So there you go, Star Fox 64 looks amazing from the textures and the little badges on Star Fox's starship he's on. You can instantly tell that there's enhancements applied to this one, and it really looks good. We're going to check out Super Mario 64 now, and what I'm going to do is just disable all of those settings which I've just enabled. So let's boot up Super Mario 64. And if you made it through life at a certain age without seeing this game, I'll be very surprised.
It's me, Mario! Hello! Okie dokie!
What we're going to do is just apply those same settings. So I'm going to go for enhanced again. Decorations to none. Game aspect ratio to 16:9. Interscore scaling, I'm going to put this one onto auto actually for this one. Vertical sync, yes. Internal resolution, I'm going to put this one to 1440 by 1080. If you want to try out 4K or 2K, then, that'll be fine. So under visual rendering, I'm also going to turn this one into widescreen. So I'm going to go to 2560 by 1440, which is 2K in this one. Widescreen, yes. And by linear filtering, I'm going to leave this one to auto. And also just remember that under visual rendering, we need to enable the texture packs there. So right at the bottom, we have got custom textures. And remember, this is rice. Anti-aliasing, I'm going to drop this one down to 4 times. And with things like anti-aliasing, just go very careful how much you bump these up, because if you push it too far, you will get lines in your gameplay, as we seen just a minute ago on Star Fox 64. And for textures enhancement, I'm going to just leave this one to auto for this playthrough. And that's it. So let's open up Super Mario 64.
It's me, Mario! Hello!
So there we go. So I'm using an almost Paper Mario aesthetic just there with texture packs for Super Mario 64. And the reason that is because there's so many Super Mario 64 texture packs, I just thought that would look really nice. So we're on to our next game now. And again, I'm going to just put everything back to default. And the settings I'm using on this, feel free to experiment. N64 emulation isn't too demanding nowadays on PC hardware. Obviously, if you want to bump the internal resolution up, then it will be a little bit straining, but not as straining as something like PlayStation 3. So let's check out Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on default settings. And another one I own in my collection. I love this game. So as we can see, Legend of Zelda, all by default settings, lots of blurry textures on there as per usual for Nintendo 64. So let's just put those enhancements back on.